is my brother Bill. We're talking about ancestry. So Bill, how did our family get to America on the Livingston side?
By ship.
Ha
We had to flee. I go back further to show the origin and the root and the reason. Going back again to Scotland, we had a Livingston that was in the seminary. And when you, so we're part of his line. When you are in seminary and graduate, you give a sermon on the ground, and all these people come, and the families, and you know, maybe 300 people or something come and hear you give your speech. Well, before it's time to give his speech, he went off into the woods. Excuse me, he went off into the woods to pray for 2 hours. And when he came back, he began to preach, and people literally fell out in the spirit. He had to flee the country. This was in the days of Fox. If you've ever read Fox Book of Martyrs, where all the Christians were being killed, the Catholic Church was wiping out the Presbyterians, people who, by faith alone and all of that. This is when that was going on, and Christians were being martyred. He had to flee he fled to Ireland, and then he had 3 generations in Ireland, and that's where we came in. 2 brothers came over. Brothers and cousins really came over to America, and that's what began the Livingstons in America, the Livingston line. A lot stayed up in New York and still are. They were credited with really creating our legal system. That was one of the things that was a big influence. And then we had a Livingston that signed the Declaration of Independence and so on, and some moved down south, which is where we are in the picture. And we are like cousins to those guys. We're all tied in with that group that came to Scotland and then here. The Livingston that we came through was a John Livingston that owned in Charlotte, North Carolina. He owned the theater. So, and then he actually produced a long line of generations of Livingstons, which is how we got into that picture. That's basically it.
Thank you, Bill.
Sure.